Well, hello and welcome everyone. I'm Mike Cox. I'm Deb's son-in-law. I'm married to Deb's daughter, Barb. Deb always called my wife and her daughter, Barb, Bobby. How is it? Can you hear? Everything's fine? All right. Praise and thank God for Bev and Bobby. And Wayne and Dick and Jackie and Bill. You 5 kids and your mother have many loving moments together, but nothing has pulled you closer together than the last couple of months. Bev's family and Nick's family, thank you all for your outpouring of memories and emails and your tributes and your memories, but especially for being here today to share your goodbyes to Bev together at her funeral mass. All of us are here today because we know and love Bev. We are comforted because Bev no longer suffers. And through Bev and Dick's and our collective faith, we believe Bev is with Jesus in heaven, a place of peace, joy, and love, and worship where God dwells. And she is reunited with her departed loved ones. Bev is happy, and she is waiting for you. Losing Bev, who was our wife, our mother, our grandmother, and in some cases our great-grandmother, and a most beloved friend of so many, is very, very painful. So let's just kind of look around and know that we all have each other for comfort. Like I said, I'm the son-in-law. I'm, in fact, Bev's only son-in-law, and she is my only mother-in-law. And therefore, I was her favorite son-in-law. She was my favorite mother-in-law. We had a lot of fun with this over the years. I met Bev 52 years ago. I remember exactly her surprise and her support when Barb and I were married at 20 and delivered Bev her first grandchild, precious Jenny, before I finished college. We had absolutely nothing but the love and support of family. Bev has always been there for all of us, no matter what the circumstances or challenge or crisis we faced. Bev had an incredible life of achievement, and Eric's going to share some of that with you shortly. I hope you've read the obituary. If not, please do so, and I believe it's in the program. What an amazing woman Bev was and is. When Bev was beginning her political career, many of us knocked on doors and marched in parades with our Nelson-Forbes representative sweatshirt. We visited the courthouse on election nights and celebrated her victories at Jackson, Marshalltown. Bev was rubbing elbows with the likes of Bob Dole during his campaign for president, and even introduced our son Dan to President Bill Clinton in a clandestine meeting, of course, in the Capitol building in Des Moines. Just 5 of them, a surprise president, 2 surprise Secret Service agents, Bev and Dan. Bev to this day shares a special relationship still with our sitting senator, Chuck Grassley. Have I mentioned Bev's fried chicken? It's the very best. Dick agrees with that. I have seen that woman fried chicken in the backyard in Clemens, on multiple family decks, screened in porch in Marshalltown in South Carolina, and a few times over in the garage in the home in Clear Lake, the Bayside home, always with her trusty electric fry pan. Fried chicken had been a staple of both Bev and Dick's families. When Bev quit frying and Dick quit mashing potatoes, it became a challenge to find good fried chicken. I think the winners were PM Park. In the summer at Casey's every time John and Cindy visited for lunch. Speaking of the lake, Bev, Swede, and their 5 kids vacationed often in Clear Lake. They initially bought a small place in Methodist camp and later made to move to the Bayside cabin, which was expanded and ultimately became Bev and Dick's home, and the place Bev passed peacefully with Dick and all of her children present. Thank you, God. All of us have fond memories of the lake. Grandma Bev always blowing up floaters and floating the Tiger dock with all the kids and the grandkids. Bill taking everyone for boat rides, holding uncles and aunts and nieces and nephews on tubes and skis around the lake. Old rituals like the Ritz and newer rituals like the tiki bar. And always the gathering spot for the entire family. On Bev's birthday, July 2nd, and our country's birthday, July 4th. And I remember Bev taking a string of bullheads probably caught by one of her grandkids and helping clean and fry them up for breakfast. She did that multiple times. It was all just kind of take the time to remember all the Clear Lake memories. This Clear Lake is a special place. We thank the many friends and neighbors of Bev that are here today and past that shared Bev's love of Clear Lake. These incredible friendships have been forged over decades. One day in 1996, our daughter Jen happened to be in Clear Lake. And she called her mother Barb and whispered, "Grandma has a boyfriend." Praise God for that meeting of two wonderful souls. Bev Nelson and Dick Forbes were blessed to find love again. And we were blessed to have Dick in the Nelson family. I had no words for him at the time except welcome and good luck. In the 25 years of Dick's and Bev's marriage, they both were introduced to Nelson Family Travel and its domestic travel coordinator, Bill. And international travel agent, I think, literally, Wayne. And Bev and Dick made multiple trips to New York City and traveled to the east and western Mediterranean, the Holy Land, Rome, Alaska, the Panama Canal, to name a few. And they were able to visit and share mass in many beautiful cathedrals around the world. This past June 18th, Barb and I called Bev and Dick to congratulate them on their 25th anniversary. I heard Bev, of course I called Dick because that was the best chance of having the phone answer. And Dick answered and we shouted, "Happy anniversary." I heard Bev in the background yelling, "Who is it, Dick?" What did they say? Dick told Bev, they said it was their anniversary. Bev yelled, "Oh, happy anniversary." We yelled, "No, Dick, it's your 25th anniversary." It was very neat. I have to mention Florida, and Bev's condo in Clearwater. Winters near rain in his family. Many of you enjoyed cocktails on the patio at 4:30 sharp every day with the on top of the world game. There was lots of local activities and family and friend dinners at great restaurants, and there was always Taco Tuesdays. And Bev and Dick attended Mass every Saturday evening at St. Michael's in Clearwater. We always sat in the far back in the same seats, ate lollies, held hands, and shared a single reading in songbook. And I learned from Dick, you never leave Mass until you receive the final blessing and the recessional song is over. And of course, Bev knew Father Ted. Dick tells the story of how Bev went to confession and didn't come out for the longest time. He said he couldn't imagine what she was confessing, what she could possibly have done that was so wrong in God's eyes. It turns out she and Father Ted were discussing the Outback Bowl and activities that both of them had participated in around the event. Bev always knew and befriended her priest. God and Mass worship had always been pillars of strength for both Bev and Dick. And this relationship with each other and with God was only strengthened through their marriage and their joint practice of their faith. The two of them went to Mass together every week for 25 years, literally around the world. When they couldn't physically go to Mass together any longer, they worshiped in their living room with a live stream of St. Patrick's. Saturday evening Mass, every week, always holding hands and worshiping together. I'm going to say now in front of everyone that your marriage to Bev has been an inspiration to me. Your love for each other and God and your care for and care of each other has been one long and breathtaking holy moment all of us were blessed to witness and hopefully learn from. It wouldn't have been that way yet if it wasn't for you. Thank you both for that. I loved Bev from day one. 52 years ago, how could I not? She was the mother of my wife and grandma to our new baby and later our son. And great-grandma to our grandkids. And she was the mother of my wife's wonderful siblings who welcomed me into Bev's family and whom I love like brothers and sisters. We have had so many wonderful times together over the years, but my love for Bev even grew more these past couple of years as she declined and we all began to care for her. Many here have cared for Bev in the recent months and years. Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Bill and Jack and Barb and Wayne and Lucia and Dick and Joyce and Monica. Thank you, Angela and your team of angels. Thank you, Clear Lake and Eagle Grove friends, many of you here today. And thank you, wonderful people of Mercy One Hospice. In the last year, for some time, even before that, I would come, I kissed, I comforted, I listened, I was interested. We ate together, always with Dick leading Grace. I picked up poop, vacuumed, mowed, raked, and took out garbage, and I always tried to make Bev smile or laugh. And she made me laugh all the time with her reactions to all things coming her way towards the end of the treatments, doctor's appointments, shots, her meds, her poison, and the lunch and dinner. She had an opinion of all of that crap. We always said we loved each other each time we came and left Clear Lake. But towards the end, when it was really getting tough, I also started asking her if she liked it. She knew what I meant by that question. Was she happy that I was around? I always tried to make her smile and laugh, and I tried to listen and participate as well. It was important she enjoyed Barb, Gabe, and I when we were there on duty or otherwise. Barb, Alyssa, and I were able to visit Grandma Bev on Saturday the 8th while she was still able to speak. The day before that very bad Sunday. When we got ready to leave, she demanded I give her 3 more kisses, always on the lips, and I did. When I was done, she took hold of my hand and looked me in the eye and said, I like you. and then we. That was the last thing that spoke to me, and I smiled, remembering it. Rest in peace, Beverly. You are loved, and you are liked. And now, we are going to hear from Eric Ross. So Eric, Eric is a dear friend of the Nelson-Forbes families. He was introduced to Bev first after yelling at Bill as a sophomore at University of Iowa. Bill disarmed Eric by talking about his mother who lived in Eagle Grove. Turns out Eric went to school in Eagle Grove from kindergarten to 12th grade. Over time, Eric and his wife Heidi and their 2 kids, Greta and Hugo, were and are beloved by Bev. Eric is going to come up now and talk about Bev's professional and political journeys.
Well, I'm a crier, so we'll preface that right now. Usually at these types of things, Hawkeye football games and anything to do with my children. So, good morning. As Mike said, I'm Eric Rosso, a friend of the Nelson-Forbes families. I would like to express my gratitude to the family for allowing me the privilege of speaking today. I was first introduced to Bev, again, after yelling at Bill as a sophomore at the University of Iowa. That's why she liked me so much. He disarmed me again by telling me that Bev was from Eagle Grove, where I went to school from kindergarten through 12th grade. Then I had the good fortune of meeting Bev over 15 years ago in person. I was selling buttons for John McCain for president for a student organization I led. Of course, she bought a few, and the rest is history. I always looked forward to visiting with her and Dick when they would come to Iowa City. We had great discussions over brown liquor, and I was always egging her on. Getting her fired up about something in national, state, or local politics. Sorry. I can do this. I can. Okay. I was drawn to her accomplishments and her zest for serving others. She blazed a trail, got things done, wasn't afraid to offer advice, tackled problems, and on a rare occasion may have had an opinion about something. Overall, she wanted to help others and subscribe to what we're called to do in 1 Peter chapter 4 by serving others with the gifts that we have received. In going over files from Bill's archives, which are extensive, this past week I came across a piece of literature from the Marshall County Republican Party that stated, "When integrity counts, count on Bev." It advocated that for effective leadership, we need Bev Nelson. Now, in a world where campaign materials are often hyperbolic and rhetoric, this one, I think, was spot on. It's an honor to highlight Bev's career and her many accomplishments. Years ago, she once told me, "I never once applied for any of these jobs. They just kept giving them to me." A true testament to her ability as a leader and her can-do spirit. Her career is not one many may expect as a woman from a small town in Iowa in the middle of the 20th century. I think that's another reason why it is so fascinating. I discovered her first job was at 14 when digging through the archives. It was detasseling corn, a rite of passage for every tried and true Iowan. The reason she took the job? Her mother didn't think she could do it. Of course, following where she had written that, Bev wrote, "Boy, did I show her." I can just hear her saying it with that scoff at the end. Bev had a love for teaching. A love that started after she received her emergency teaching certificate from Iowa's Teachers College in September of 1947, which we now know as the University of Northern Iowa. It's in the one-room schoolhouse where her rendezvous with education began. It was there, early in her career, she uncovered what she believed was the marvel and success of the one-room school. The older kids taught the younger kids. And it was successful because, in her words, I've heard this many times, "When you teach, you learn." Her exact words. Following the emergency teaching certificate, she attended the Mercy School of Nursing in Dubuque, completing their program in 1951. She received a BSN in 1973 from the University of Iowa, go Hawks, and from Iowa State, a Master of Science in 1975, and then in 1981, a PhD also from Iowa State. She attended and had degrees from all three Regent institutions in the state of Iowa. Bev's career shifted as her educational pursuits progressed. She began her career as a staff nurse in 1955 at Mercy Hospital in Marshalltown, and then became a supervisor in 1959. Probably a pretty thankless job. Next, she instructed nursing from 1963 to 1967. Then, in 1967, she became the director of the Mercidian School of Practical Nursing. From 1970 to 1981, she served as the coordinator of health occupations education at Marshalltown Community College. And from 1981 through 1986, she held the title and role of Dean of Instruction at Marshalltown Community College. Beginning in 1986, she began her career as the executive vice president for the Iowa Valley Community College District, a role she held until her retirement in 1999. Also of note, in 1991, she served as the interim president of the Iowa Valley Community College District. I bet they got a lot done that year. And in 1993, she held the role of adjunct professor in the College of Education at ISU. Now here's my favorite part. She was elected in 1994 to represent District 64 in Iowa's House of Representatives and served her constituents and all Iowans in that body from 1995 through 2001 in the 76th, 77th, and 78th General Assemblies. She campaigned as a proven, effective leader on real solutions to crime problems, a state healthcare system that is consumer-driven and affordable, lower taxes, solid economic growth, which is focused on new industry and business, a state education system that is top in the nation, and a healthy agricultural economy. Now, as a sixth-generation Iowan, no wonder I always liked her. Makes me want to go knock some doors right now. I wish I had had the opportunity to attend at least one of her political fundraisers, because I'm sure many of you have heard her say, if you can't afford a party, don't have one. While in Des Moines, she worked on efforts to eliminate inheritance tax liability, promoted tax incentives for Iowa businesses, was a strong supporter of the Iowa Communications Network, or ICN, which the kids in Eagle Grove took advantage of in the late 90s and early 2000s. She helped drive the conversations around how to fund that final stage of the revolutionary communications network that connected all Iowans. She was a member of the Education, Economic Development, and Transportation Committees and Vice Chair and then Chair of the House Health and Human Rights Appropriations Subcommittee. She cared about reforms in Iowa's healthcare system and affordability. She was quoted in 1995 after joining the House, in her words, that we need portability, affordability, and access to quality health care. I agree. As much as things change, some still remain the same. She introduced House File 2051 in 2000, a bill for an act relating to the limited use of cellular telephones while operating a motor vehicle and making a penalty applicable. One of the first legislators in the country to take a stand on cell phone usage while driving. It took years, but we now know that's the law here in Iowa. She served on countless boards, committees, and commissions. A few highlights: after 72 years, she was the first woman Rotarian in Marshalltown history. In 1993, Senator Grassley appointed her to the Iowa State Advisory Committee of the United States Commission on Civil Rights. Senator Grassley at the time said she brings to the committee a strong background in education, as well as experience from a career in medicine that began in 1955. She stated, "I was pleased and honored that my name was submitted. It's quite a prestigious position." She served on the Marshalltown Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, the Brendan Bank Board of Directors, the Marshalltown Medical and Surgical Center Board of Trustees, was an ex officio member of the State of Iowa Workforce Development Board, and was the Medic Board co-chair. She was president of the Marshall County Cyclone Club, president of the Association of Community College Deans and Directors, co-chairwoman of the State of Iowa National Associate Degree Nursing Project, and was a member of the Iowa Commission on Children, Youth, and Families. She got to know Senator Grassley as the chairwoman of the Marshalltown Economic Summit, a delegation she led on many trips to our nation's capital. While there, they met frequently with the Iowa congressional delegation concerning economic development in Marshalltown and Marshall County. Her efforts became a model for cities across our great state to follow when lobbying the federal government. She lobbied for and worked hard to make portions of the 330 Highway and Expressway a Bev Nelson Superhighway. And lore has it that she got to know several state patrol officers while traveling that highway to and from Des Moines. Her accolades and awards are many. A few include the recipient of the first annual Leadership Award granted by the Iowa Health Occupations Education Division of the Iowa Vocational Association, recipients of the 1982 Tribute to Women of Achievement from the Marshalltown YWCA, the 1994 Distinguished Service Award from the Rotary Club of Marshalltown, the 1995 Marshalltown Citizen of the Year presented by the Optimist Club. In 1996, she received the Virgil S. Lamarcino Distinguished Alumni Award from ISU's College of Education. She also received the Outstanding Alumni Award that same year from Mercy Hospital in Dubuque. She has 2 scholarships established in her honor, one at ISU and one within the Iowa Valley Community College District. I think it's time for one at the University of Iowa. In 1999, Bev was named one of the 10 most influential women in Marshalltown's first 150 years. And in 2001, she was named one of the 100 most influential leaders during Marshall County's first 150 years. The list goes on and on, but you can get a lot done when you work till you're 7 years old, much to the chagrin of the Iowa Public Employees Retirement System. But none of her career accomplishments, awards, professional affiliations, accolades, or activities should surprise us. Bev was a devout Catholic, a hardworking Iowan, a community leader, a loving mother, a dedicated wife, a compassionate nurse, an outstanding educator, a respected college administrator, and a committed, responsive legislator. Mix those ingredients together, and you're destined to get an unstoppable force. In saying that, it reminds me a lot of the first time I told her about Heidi. I said, well, you'll love her. She's a nurse. Excuse me. She's a nurse, a Republican, a golden retriever lover, and a Catholic. Her response, my God, dear, I think you've hit the jackpot. Of course, those were all things Bev was as well. And I did, and I have, because of course, Bev was right. Well, to end this, I thought I might tell one of her favorite Catholic jokes, but I don't think Father has enough time to run us all through confession before Mass service. In all seriousness, I've been inspired by Bev. After learning her story, after learning her story all those years ago. She was and is very special to me. Someone we can all look up to and think, we're trying to make this world, our country, and this state a better place. Now here comes the really hard part. Sorry. Bear with me. So finally, the Marshalltown Times-Republican newspaper in January of 1995 reported that while attending the Republican caucus meeting prior to the legislative session opening, Nelson said that the realization of representing people in Marshalltown and nearby areas became clear as I was by myself walking up the Capitol steps, and I found it to be a humbling experience. Well, today it's an honor for me to announce that the flag that flies over those same steps at that same state house waves in her honor. And it will be sent to her family in the next few weeks. It soars in the wind as a testament to her service to and her love for the great state of Iowa. I am blessed to have known her, and I will think of her any time that we have chili soup, cabbage salad, eat rare filet while watching Lawrence Welk's program during Saturday night dinner. Or when I have a fit and fall in it, which if you guys pay is probably about every other day. So God bless Beverly Nelson-Forbes and may her soul through Christ's mercy rest in eternal peace.